She's a fashion blogger, model, and entrepreneur.
She's amazing.
The latest tips on fashion, beauty, wellness, travel, and her lifestyle. And now, here's the founder and creator of Not Basic Blonde, Olyasha.
Hi, Jordan. I'm so glad to have you on my podcast, and you're so inspiring, so incredible. Thank you for being my guest. How are you today?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. No, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. And you've been so resilient, gorgeous, and thriving. We would love to know your story. How did you start your career? How did you become famous?
Yeah, so I actually started YouTube back in 2010, so a long time ago before kind of YouTube was popular. And the reason for that was because I got into a really bad depression. When I was 15 years old, I was involved in a car accident, which left me paralyzed from the chest down. And my whole life got turned upside down. I was an able-bodied girl, teenager who, was becoming more independent. And then suddenly, by having one decision of getting in a car with a newly qualified driver, I then changed my whole life in that split second. My life was changed. When I was in the car accident, I felt like I couldn't breathe because I was being strangled by my seatbelt, and I saw a white light. And when I saw that white light, I was like, oh no, I don't want to go yet. I've got so much to do with this life. Like, no, I'm not ready. I'm 15. So I started singing to myself to try and keep myself present, to keep myself on this earthly plane. And I'm still here, so thank God. But yeah, I actually broke my neck at the C6 level, which means I'm paralyzed from the chest down, which was so difficult. But at first, I think I was naive to it. I didn't think it was actually going to be my reality. I thought, yes, I'm going to need a wheelchair, but I didn't realize that I wouldn't be able to use my hands and, a lot of other things I would need so much help with. So like I said, I got into a real depression because my life wasn't how I wanted it to be. I saw big dreams for my future. Even as a young girl, I always wanted to do something amazing. But that felt like it was all taken away from me. But then one day I discovered guided meditation when I was looking on YouTube, and I was like, this seems really interesting. Like, I need to do this more. This seems amazing. So I kept doing it. And it got me out of my depression. It got me from being at a point where I wanted to die to, wow, life is so magical. And I felt like I then wanted to share that and get on YouTube myself and be a part of the spiritual community at the time and try and spread some light, because it seemed like I was engulfed in so much darkness that I wanted to spread the light that I had just discovered. So that's how it started, I guess, with everything.
Such a powerful story, but the thing is, you turn your tragedy into triumph, and you thriving and you inspiring other women. It's amazing. It takes really strong personality to do so, and sometimes we don't appreciate things we have, and we actually, when we some of the people are being ungrateful for things they have, and on the other hand, others that are sometimes have their struggles and they're even more successful than others that have everything available for them, but they don't even use their resources.
Exactly. And it's always the simple things in life that we end up actually missing the most. Like for me, I can't get myself dressed, and I can't get myself out of bed without help. So it's like, before my accident, I would do that without any consideration, and I wouldn't even feel any gratitude towards it because it was just normal. But for me now, I'm so grateful when, every day when someone comes to help me. And so it's the simple things in life that we should be the most grateful for. The big things are amazing. We should be grateful for them too. But if you start being grateful for all those simple little things that we take for granted, more magic will happen in your life, because you are grateful for the things that you are given, and that are, that can actually still be taken away. So be grateful for the little things, and big great things will show up as well.
I absolutely agree with you. Gratitude is everything, and we should practice more of it every day, because It changes your life, it creates your life better. And for you, especially when you saw the white light, I know I have some friends who had death experience, like near death experience before, and they saw the same. They either saw some of their relatives coming and talking to them while they see that white light, or someone close to them, but it means like the person was actually dead at that time. So, and for you coming out of that and being strong and powerful takes a lot. I admire you. I admire you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. I think it just gave me that determination to think, wow, life can actually be taken away from you so fast. We have one life as this being. We might be reincarnated, but we have this one life as this being that we've got to just live it. We've got to live this life. And, you know, we are the only ones that can get in our way. There's so many struggles that we have, but we can still try and go for the things that we want. That's up to us to work on our mindset 100%.
I agree. And I recently attended kind of huge summit, and one of the speakers was talking about that time. You can replace time. You can buy time. I mean, you can buy time as far as like you can pay for services, and while you doing something else, so someone will help you with something this way, but otherwise time is priceless, and you have to really think about every step. And if we still procrastinating or afraid to start something or do something, because I mean time is valuable, we shouldn't procrastinate.
No, we shouldn't. And, you know, there are days where we want to maybe take it slow but if we're doing something because we're afraid of what people think, it's like, imagine if you were on your deathbed, what would you be saying to your younger self? You would say, do the thing that you were destined to do. Because I think if you want something, if you desire something, you want to do something, it's because it's in your destiny to try at least to do it. And you can just keep going until you achieve it. And that's all that is. It's like life is like one big lesson, and we're given lessons all the time, and we can either learn from them or grow from them and use them in no matter, you know, any way. We can use them in our business, in our relationships, in our just everyday to-day life. So we might as well go for the things that we want, because we're given the lessons, we might as well use them.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. How did you overcome the grief? What main things that helped you to get back to things that you usually do into your routine?
I think it was all the tools like meditation, affirmations, getting out in nature, making sure that I was filling up my cup, and just really becoming self-aware, understanding myself, and realizing that despite having this injury, it doesn't mean that I can't achieve. It doesn't mean that I can't be who I want to be. It just means that there's going to be an obstacle, but also it means that I have to just adapt. So I've learned the thing that helps me the most was meditation, but there's so many other things that I do now, like EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, which is so amazing. It helps with everything. So just using the tools that are actually really quite simple can actually really shift your mindset, and just realizing that this is your one life. So I just think it's just having that realization. And I really believe that self-awareness is key. So working on yourself is everything. Like putting energy and investing in myself has been the best thing that I've ever done, because it's made me grow so much, and it's made me become so self-aware, and realizing that, okay, I may not love what happened to me, but I love that I'm still alive, and I accept that this is the situation. I always say to my clients, because I do coaching, that acceptance doesn't mean you're giving up. It just means you accept what is, and you're living more in the moment instead of living in the past and just thinking, what if, and I wish this happened instead. And it's like, those things can come up sometimes, but for the most part, it's important to just be present and to accept in order to move forward. Because if we want to live that great life, we need to do those things to help ourselves accept situations and allow ourselves to grieve as well, though, and not cover it up with just positivity. Do the healing work and the self-development.
I love how you said it, accepting. Yes, you can just sit there and think about the past and what if, like you said, and still be upset about it and just I mean, you can't change the past, so you can just accept it and move forward and create better things in life for you, for yourself, and inspire others like you do every day. And what kind of coaching do you do? Like, oh,
So I do a variety of coaching. I do a lot of self-love coaching with people to work through to their self-love journey using the tools and kind of like everything that I've learned over the past, how many years now? 12 years of my own journey. And I've also had a program called The Wild Warrior, where I work specifically with people with chronic illnesses and disabilities. So I work with just able-bodied people all over the world, but also I had this group which was so amazing because it was a safe space for people with injuries or a chronic illness to come together and feel that they were part of a community, feel seen and heard, and not feel worried that, you know, if they haven't got that confidence yet, that they could, if they were on a coaching call, that if I said, okay, guys, let's move our bodies, they wouldn't feel insecure about it because they're in a space where, okay, Jordan understands, or they might have to show up to the call in bed that day because they were unwell. Like, I made it so they could then get confident to maybe do any course. So I went through that with them, and that was just incredible. I did 4 warrior courses last year, and that was just amazing. And then I had one called the Lavish Phoenix as well, which was just so fun, helping women rise from the ashes, and no matter what challenges they're going through, they can still live great lives. So I like working with people with like the shadow side to help get to that light in order to achieve all the great things, in order to become successful in no matter what area of their life.
Yeah, love it. Incredible. And how do hard things that happen to us in life make us more resilient? I mean, I know there is a saying, if it didn't break you, it made you stronger. But still, knowing that and going through hard time, it's really hard to get yourself together to pass through that stage when you think back and already thinking, okay, I've had this lesson for this.
I always say to everybody that I work with that it's okay to feel the true feelings of what you're feeling. If you're feeling super low in that moment, embrace that instead of hiding it. Because if you hide it or hide it from yourself, then you will just keep covering it up, and one day it will just be worse for you. So I always say, like, to journal out your feelings, even voice note out your feelings to yourself. Just let everything out and really tune into your body and feel where in your body you're feeling it. You know, a lot of the time people feel it in their throat or their stomach because like the stomach's in knots, and just send that area like loving energy, because everything is energy. So when we can shift it, and, you know, even doing some tapping with that as well, the EFT can really help. But, you know, resilience grows. And I think the more you kind of understand that, well, there is a lesson within everything, you can kind of get through it. I would say as well, like, it's so important to remember that everything in your life that you've been through, you've gotten through because you're still here. So you're more resilient and more strong than you even think that you are. So I think that's really important to remember. But it's honoring the feelings in order to get to the other side and to feel okay again, and not ignoring them. But, you know, sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, well, you know, I have a choice here. I have a choice whether, you know, to sit in this sadness for a long time, or I just acknowledge it and then I move on and look at all the things that I am blessed for in life. Because life isn't always easy. There's going to be ups and downs, but we can shift our, you know, perspective pretty quick once we start to understand ourselves a little bit more.
So true. I agree. How to help people that in similar situation or that dealing with chronic illnesses, how to help them to rediscover themselves?
I think sometimes you can lose your identity a little bit if you, like for me, when I first had the accident, I felt like I didn't even look like myself anymore, because at the time I couldn't even do my makeup. And I sort of taught myself to, so I could still show up into the world that I was still Jordan, and I could still be me and still achieve what I wanted to, and even just look the way I wanted to. So I think it's just about acknowledging your identity and not putting so much identity on, you know, your chronic illness or your disability or injury, anything like that. It's just about showing up as you and knowing that you are still a strong, powerful person, no matter what. You are still you, and you are not defined by your injury, chronic illness, whatever it may be. There's so much more to you. I think sometimes at first it can feel like it overwhelms you and takes over your whole life, but it's like it's a part of the life and it's part of life, but it's not your whole life. There's so much more to people than their situation. And that can go with anyone in life, no matter if you're able-bodied or not. Like, you're more than your situation, you're more than your struggle, and you're more than one story as well.
So true. Not to forget to still be yourself, and through don't even, like you said, don't even pass through that problem and still remain yourself. That's the key.
Yeah, it's important to just keep on and keep being yourself, because you are you and there's no one else like you. So it's just be yourself. And then sometimes people stare maybe, but especially like years ago, I used to notice in my hometown people would be staring at me and I'd be like, what is everyone looking at? And then it got to a point was, well, I love myself, I'm going to still show up as Jordan. They can stare if they want and I don't care, because I'm living my life, they can live theirs. And it's just, a lot of the time it's curiosity anyway, and it's not necessarily from a negative space, but we've just got to show up as ourselves and be like, yeah, we're still powerful. Like, people may see us as vulnerable, but really we're so strong because we've had to learn to be strong and we've had to become resilient, because in a way it's like you either do or you don't. And it's like you just become stronger through time as well, because it's like, well, that's the choices you have.
So true. And I was bullied in school a lot, and I still get, even where I live in Atlanta, I get bullied for my style sometimes. And just, I'm tall and I always stand out from the crowd. So some people can make some comments all the time, but it took me, when I was a kid, like, to overcome bullying and struggles, it took me some time to overcome this. But now I love this culture that we have now. It kind of like past 2-3 years it happened where everyone says that, well, I even read in children's book where it says it's okay to be different, just be yourself, be unique, it's okay to be different. But everyone was so afraid to be different, and because like someone doesn't look like someone, or because we have our own standards and someone else has their own standards, and people were so judgmental. But now it's like kind of everyone broke free because of gender change, different things in society. So now everyone is like loving it, and I love that finally people start embracing that it's okay to be yourself and it's okay to be different.
Yeah, I love that. And what's really interesting as well, which a lot of people don't even realize, is that our subconscious mind takes everything personally. So if someone is judging us, well, they're actually judging themselves. So, it's really hurtful. Like, when I was a teenager as well, before my accident, I was like, the girls were really horrible to me at school. And it can really knock your confidence and make you feel like all you want to do is fit in. But now, yeah, like you said, we're in this space now where we feel free to be ourselves, and we should embrace it for now, because there has been times where it felt like, I suppose we couldn't be. And it's, people are threatened when, there's something maybe a bit different, or that they aren't confident in themselves. So they want to be, they wish they could be like you, or they wish that they could wear that, or so they have to judge it. But it's all because it's from a space of insecurity of themselves. So it's always good to know that, but sometimes we're human, we can still get hurt by things.
So true. And I love how you said it, that it's based on their own insecurities. That's why they have judging. I mean, they're judging, and that's why they're trying to find something wrong in others, because they have work to do within themselves.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. What to do if we still feel overwhelmed even after we try to remain upbeat and happy all the time? I know it's such a term like toxic positivity, and everyone before used to ignore their feelings and just try to be positive all the time. I mean, it's good to be positive all the time, but I have my moments. I cry sometimes, like I can't even stop crying. And I have those moments, and now I just like told myself, and I kind of learned that it's okay. I want to cry. I'll cry. It's not gonna,
Yeah.
it's
And
okay
you know
to have
what?
those moments.
It is. And you know what? Crying is one of the best things you can do. We hold so much in because we don't cry. And with that, we're holding energy within us that is like going to get stuck. And it's just going to, like I said earlier, just like bubble up inside. And we're just going to go, one day. Like we need to let it out. We need to cry. We need to not be ashamed of feeling the feelings, because there's a reason we feel the feelings. And I think what's important is just to understand why you feel that way. And just have that human moment of having a cry, having a bit of like a moment. If you want to scream into a pillow, that's fine.
Yeah.
We just need to do that sometimes because we're human and things happen. And all I think is important is if you're self-aware, if you understand where it's coming from and what you can do to make yourself feel better in the future, or if it happens again. Knowing is kind of like knowing your boundaries, knowing that it's a moment in time. It's not a bad life, it's a bad moment. And to not cover it up and not feel that you have to be positive and not feel ashamed to have a moment where you just feel a little bit overwhelmed, because life can be overwhelming sometimes. And we can do all the tools, which are amazing, and they literally have saved my life. But at the same time, you need to also be human too. And it's okay. Like I don't think there's a magic like answer to just be like, okay, let's just be positive all the time, because then it wouldn't be real. It wouldn't be the human experience. It would just be like, I don't know. It wouldn't be natural. But we can conjure up any emotion we want. So if we want to feel happiness, the thing is, people say, oh, I want to feel happy. That's my goal. It's like, if you think of a time and go right back to a time when you were really happy, your body is going to be reacting to that memory. So you can create happiness within your body whenever you wish, if you want to go back to a memory. So that's one good way of looking at the past. We don't want to always look at the past, but if you use it in positive and resourceful ways, that can really help you to raise your frequency again.
Oh, I love it. I love how you said it, to raise your frequency, to go into some great moments and feeling this nice and positive feelings. But, as far as guided meditation, I tried, but I can't say I really get it yet, because I guess I need to do it more to get a kick out of it. But I tried, it's just sometimes I get distracted, or sometimes I just really don't get it. Why at all these steps, and like, okay, where is the final step? So what should be feeling at the end?
I think the thing is as well, though, with meditation, it's a practice. And I think a lot of people want to be like, I need to be able to do it properly, like right away. But it's like, even after all these years, sometimes my mind wanders still. And, it's fine. Like, it's okay. But we can be hard on ourselves. And we're also, because we are in a space sometimes where we want things to be quick, we don't give ourselves that time of being present and relaxing and just being in that moment. So I think it's just about consistently doing it, but also finding a meditation you actually like. Because if it isn't your vibe, if it isn't your thing, like what the words aren't resonating with you, you're not going to really enjoy it. So it's just about searching for ones that you really enjoy. But also I would say, like, if you add some tapping into your routine as well, I think that's a great one, because that's more physical. So because you'll be tapping your body and you can feel the energy with that. So you don't have to meditate. You can do other things as well, but you can do them all and it's even more amazing. But it's just practicing it and finding something that you love. It's like anything. You need to just find what is right for you.
Yeah, it's so true. I tried tapping. I had a girl on my podcast and she's like tapping queen. Like, she has her techniques and all that. So it does work too.
Yeah.
And especially I've had one of the therapists show me the technique when you have anxiety. You just like kind of tap and hear, and it helps. You get distracted. So tapping really works. And with meditation, like you said, I guess I need to find my vibe where it's kind of interesting and fun for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I wasn't really getting it.
Yeah, just keep trying and just but there's so many tools. If that's not one that you feel is right for you, then that's not right for you. Even practicing gratitude and taking some deep breaths as you think of the things that you're grateful for, and feeling really grateful and feeling what those memories or those things that you are grateful for bring to you. Like, really feel that and be present with that and just take some deep breaths while you do it. That's even meditation. Like, it doesn't always have to be something like a guided meditation. It can just be simply breathing and just letting your mind just relax for a moment.
So true. Yeah. What is your best advice on how can we embrace self-love? How can we start loving ourselves more?
I think there's a misconception with self-love, or there used to be, when someone used to say, oh, she loves herself. It would always be seen as like a negative, but it's good to remember, and a good starting point for someone, if they're kind of in a space where they don't want to seem like they're being selfish, to remember that self-love isn't selfish. The more that you love yourself, the more that you'll be able to give love to others, because you're filling up your cup and you can then share that easily, and your energy will be in a good space and more amazing things will come to you. So for me, self-love is about giving yourselves those acts of kindness, of giving yourself that time to do the practices such as meditation, such as moving your body, making sure that you hydrate yourself. But even things like putting your makeup on, like if you enjoy it, that's a form of self-love. Give yourself that moment where you can put your makeup on. Like for me, I always fake tan on a Thursday. And I'm like, that's part of my self-love routine. And it may not be a spiritual one, but for me, it's part of what I love. And it's giving myself something that makes me smile. So it's remembering that self-love isn't selfish, and starting to do the things that you enjoy by creating a bit of a routine, like a morning routine really does help. And all it is just creating a bit more of like self-awareness and knowing your worth. And I really believe in affirmations as well. So even being able to say some really positive affirmations and feeling those words, but eventually getting to the point where you can say, I love me, or I love you in the mirror, and look in your eyes. And sometimes asking yourself, like, would I be my friend? And I'm always like, yeah, I like who I am. So if you can say to yourself, would I like to be my friend? Then you deserve to give yourself love. You deserve to give yourself love anyway, but you deserve it. And I think that we don't deserve love. We give love freely to others. It's time to give it back to ourselves and know that you'll still be able to give it to others as well.
Yeah, like you said, there was a term before that everyone thought that self-love is selfish, and because people were confusing selfishness with self-love, but now it's like everyone strongly defined it, and it's like all over. It's like a movement about self-love, and I'm glad people embrace it, and I'm glad that it actually became so public that everyone is talking about it. And like you said, I love the fact that you mentioned that to look in yourself in the mirror, I was just saying to myself, would I want to be my friend? That's really amazing.
Yeah. And self-love is like the way we can become more fearless. Self-love is confidence. Self-love is the thing that will help us to get to where we want to be, because we're going to see that if we want something, if we desire it, that, okay, I'm going to get there until I get there. And I'm not going to stop myself, because that is what I want. That is what I desire. So I'm going to keep going because I deserve it. So that's just realizing your worth and realizing that, well, if someone else is worthy of it, why am I not worthy? Like, what makes you not worthy? Is it because society has made you think that way? But you are worthy. We just need to tell ourselves that all the time.
Love it. Yes. And I know you do Reiki. So how do you do it, and how people can benefit from it?
So Reiki is amazing. So Reiki is energy healing, and I actually do it online. So I do distant Reiki, because it's probably hard sometimes to get your head around if you're not spiritual, but like once you have it, you'll kind of understand it. It's because everything is energy. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. I can send you the Reiki energy. So when I was given this Reiki energy by my Reiki teacher, it's through symbols that you're given, and you're then connected to the universe. So it's just a nice thing to help you relax. It's nice to help you heal the body, to go through the chakras within the body, to make you feel good. And that's ultimately what we all want, is to feel good. So it's funny, because when I was younger, I did my Reiki level 1, and I would say to my spiritual teacher things like, I won't be able to do it because I can't, because I can't open my hands because they're paralyzed. So I would be like, because I can't put my hands like in the proper position. And she was always like, yes, you can do it, Jordan. Do not use that as an excuse. And she was giving me tough love, which was so needed because it makes no difference. I feel that heat from my hands. When I call in the Reiki energy, I feel that heat and the tingles in my hands so strongly that it doesn't matter that I can't open my hand and it be in a certain position. The intention is there. And with that intention, I've helped people with it because that's always made them feel so great. I've had such great testimonials where people have just been like, wow, that really just gave me the boost that I needed. It made me feel good. It gave me that energy. Made me feel like something shifted. So I love Reiki. I have it done to myself. I don't really do it to myself because it's nice to, get relaxed by someone else. But yeah, you can have it online. You can have it in real life. It doesn't matter as long as the intention's there. And it's all good vibes. I love it.
Like you said, everything is energy and you can actually give out the energy. I mean, when we feel energy of others, when we talk to people and we give out the energy. And recently, like I mentioned, I attended the summit and Nick Wojcik was there. He was a speaker and he is so powerful, like his voice and his personality is so powerful that everyone was just amazed and shocked by the energy like he was giving out. So it's not about like, someone's ability or anything. It's just about the energy they bring and they project. Absolutely.
And I think when you experience it, don't you? It's like, oh, okay, I understand now. And it's like, even energy is so, sometimes I think, how do people not believe in energy? Because, when you're like sat in a restaurant or anywhere and someone's looking at you, you can feel someone looking at you, even if you're not looking at them. And it's like, that's because it's energy. Their energy has been projected onto you and like the focus. So it's crazy, amazing. And this life is so magical. Like we just take it all for granted that we're, floating around in space right now, like floating around, but we're on this rock in space and we're just like amongst all these stars and these planets, and it's just so beautiful. And life is so rare and anything is possible. I think it makes you realize that anything is, but we just take it for granted. Once you start seeing the magic in life and the amazing signs that you are given, the synchronicities that happen, the people you meet, it all aligns, and it's so much more beautiful and more powerful and magical than we think on the day-to-day.
Absolutely. And my mom is so funny. She always tells me that like every morning she wakes up, she puts her makeup on, and even if she has nowhere to go, she still puts her makeup on and she says, this is my morning meditation, this is therapeutic for me, so I must do it to feel great every day. Like I have to do it. So she does it every day.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. And I love how she calls it her meditation there. So you don't have to do things like, it's like that adaptation, like do things that make you feel good, not what the book says you have to do it, like, oh, we have to do it exactly as this person says. It's like, no, you can create your own tools that, you've adapted it. So yeah, putting makeup on can feel like a meditation because you're just so present and you're making yourself how you want to be for the day. And I think that's great that she does that. She shows up every day as who she really is.
Yeah, it's so true. What is your best advice for women that are maybe like in a similar situation, how they can be heard and seen in society? How can they speak up? Because some of them get discouraged and they don't show up as themselves, like you mentioned before. So
I mean, sometimes it can be difficult because obviously it's a journey. So I think confidence has to grow, but the way in which it grows is by getting out there, doing the work, doing the personal development, but getting yourself out there. And it can be difficult, but I think ever since I was younger and I kind of got out of my depression, I decided that I need to get myself out there. I need to just start living this life because I've been given the second chance. And I think, if you want to see a change in the world, you have to be that change. So it's really important to just sometimes put that fear aside and just try it. Even if you think, oh no, I don't want to do that again. At least you've tried it and thinking, oh, what if I did make myself seen? What if I did make myself heard? I might have made an impact. So if you feel like you can make an impact, just do what you can to try it. It might seem scary at first, but do what you can to maybe gain some confidence first. But even doing the thing will make you feel more confident. So it's about just doing it. Like there's so many issues like accessibility issues in the world, and it can be like off-putting to do certain things because you think, oh, it's going to be stressful. But I've always had this like view that, well, nothing will change if I'm not out there in the world, because if I'm not out there in the world, then people aren't going to see me or others like me. So there won't be any changes. There won't be accessibility into certain places because they're not seeing people. So we have to be the thing that helps people realize. And with that, I think that's where we need alliances from able-bodied people to notice if there is, an access need, or there is something that could actually help someone. So if there was no ramps into a building, like that could actually change someone's life. If there was, like, they can do things, they can be who they want to be, they can live their lives. But sometimes it's scary for people. So I think it's about everyone coming together and everyone realizing as well that disability doesn't discriminate. Anyone can become disabled at any moment. So it's kind of like just, standing up and being a voice for everybody, and just us all coming together as one big community, like the whole world. We all need to be as one and be helpful for each other in every situation.
So true. And the thing I like about US that it's so accessible for everyone, and anyone can get around, like especially for disabled. And but like in Ukraine recently faced that problem because my grandma, she was really strong, powerful, healthy. She had stroke and she became paralyzed, like her whole right side is paralyzed and she can't speak. And in Ukraine, it's so not advanced at all as far as accessibility. So she basically can't go anywhere. She just at home. And in US, it's made for everyone. It's accessible everywhere. People are not limited in anything. They can do the same activities as everyone else. But in some of the places, like in Europe and other countries, it's so not advanced as far as these things, and it makes people's lives very difficult.
Yeah, and it can be so stressful. Like it's like we are part of the world. We deserve to be a part of it, like it should be everywhere. And, there's so many disabled people that need that support and need just those access needs that might even be something small that, like I said, can make such a big impact. I went to the Netherlands in October, and it was so inaccessible for me. And it was my birthday trip, and it just felt like I felt deflated because I still went. I still had a good time, but I just felt like, wow, this is really hard work. And I just thought, well, there's a lot that could be done here. There was, so it is difficult at times, but it's just hopefully some changes will come, because I think, this is where social media is powerful as well, because our voices can get in different spaces, and hopefully that can make some changes as well.
Yeah, I agree. So true, because some of the places are definitely not even accessible, and people feel they can't even go to those places, and it just creates so much. I mean, we got faced that situation, and we had to do so many things to make it accessible, because in Ukraine, like, it's so bad that they did not even have proper, here in US they have centers where you can, rehabs. There they don't even have rehabs because they don't really care as much about people, as far as like they thinking if someone has this kind of problem, whatever, they can just stay at home. But here in US, it's so great that everyone can live normal life like everyone else and still do great things. But like you said, there are so many changes need to be done, especially in Europe, because there they are not as accessible to...
Well, it's just one big discrimination. Like, this, I bet in, I don't even know, like 50 years time, it would be shocking that this was even a conversation, that people couldn't do things because it was inaccessible. It's just such a discrimination, and it's just it's not right. And people deserve to be treated as people and not any less than, and everyone should be equal.
The thing is, was what we faced, anyone can become, like you said, it can happen to anyone any second. And when we were going, my grandma was going through therapy, the physical therapist said that he has so many young people who went through strokes and had that happen to them, and accidents, of course, too. So it's just like no one ever can predict it, but it just, we have to be kind of aware, and we have to have things accessible for people.
Yeah, and this is when it makes me realize, how lucky I am, even in the UK, So, not everyone always has those privileges. So this is, like I said, this is where social media is so important. And I just hope that everyone gets to have the experiences that they deserve and they desire, because we have this life, we need to live it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. If there would be one message you would like to say to women, what would be the message?
I would say own your power, stand in your power, be who you want to be, not who anyone else wants you to be you, because you are the longest relationship you'll ever have. So I think that any woman should just go out and live their dreams the way that they want, and should just stand in their power and be empowered. I think that's the word of my 2022 is empowered, because we all deserve to be super empowered and live our best life no matter what our circumstances. And even if it's hard to live that best life, like live it as much as you can, like live it to the full as your potential. And, like I said, we may have to adapt in certain ways, but we can do anything. We're powerful.
This is the best. I love this message. It inspired me a lot too.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you so much. And where can our listeners find you, your social handles, all the information, and if they do coaching, where they can purchase your courses or any other information?
Yeah, so I'm mainly on Instagram. I'm really active on Instagram. It's at jbone89. And my website is jordanbone.co.uk. And I also have YouTube as well, which I'm coming back to this year, because I've been off it for like almost a year. So I'm coming back this year. So super excited about that. But you're best finding me on Instagram. And if you want to send me a DM, I'm always happy to answer them. So yeah, check me out there.
Thank you so much, Jordan. You're absolutely gorgeous. You're resilient, inspiring. I'm so glad to have you on my podcast. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Oh, thank you so much. You are so amazing. And I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much. You'll be on my gratitude list today.
Thank you.
Thank you.